Happy Thursday. We have now won 14 of the last 16 days, and we got an 8-game slate. Let's talk some baseball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I'm your host, Steven, and I'm smiling because we had another winning day. That's right. Make it 14 of 16 on a 12-6 run. It was a 3-1 day with a push. We'll talk more about the bets recap in just a little bit, but I'm excited. And also, today is my son's 3rd birthday. That's right. Happy birthday, Bubba. He is my big sports guy. He's already got an arm. You know, he gets it from his dad and all that. So anyways, just want to point that out. Why I'm saying it is we may do a birthday parlay in this video at the end. We're going to have some fun with it. I don't give out many parlays for baseball, so why not do it on a kid's birthday to celebrate it? So anyways, we have an 8-game slate. That's right, a much smaller slate. Seems like it's been a long time since we've had a small slate like this. So I'm ready to get into it, and it starts with the baseball fun fact. So here we go. In honor of Clayton Kershaw starting today, by the way, which will be his first start of the season, in May of 2016, Clayton Kershaw had more shutouts than walks. That is absolutely insane. He had 3 shutouts that month and 2 walks, and that was in 49.2 innings. Absolutely unbelievable. So anyways, Clayton Kershaw, the Hall of Famer, is back today. But in this video, we're going to recap yesterday, of course, like we always do, and then go over the good and bad hitter matchups, and then talk to you about some pitcher strikeout matchups, give you the entire pitcher report, that big game breakdown, the best bets, the hitter parlay ideas, and then wrap it all up with the recap. That's right, every single day we got a lot to talk about. I'm excited, but first, hit that like button. Leave a comment below like you guys do every single freaking day. You guys are awesome. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button as we're on our way to 27,000 subscribers as we approach 2 years on the channel. It's been one heck of a run, and we are loving the journey. So anyways, thank you, but let's get it started, and that means it's recap time. There is our 3-1 day, and we start with the Tigers' first 5 money line. Guys, this wasn't as bad as the beat on the under 5.5 in the first 5 when it was 0-0 2 days ago. But my goodness, did this suck. If you were watching it, we were 1 out away. There was no one on base. Tigers were up 1-0 in the bottom of the 5th. Flaherty was rolling. Bo Naylor single. You think, okay, that's right, just a single, right? And then the catcher drops an easy pitch pretty much down the middle. It bounces off him. The runner goes to second with Steven Kwan up. I was thinking, I know that error is going to kill me, and Steven Kwan is going to get a single. And sure enough, Kwan pokes a single, tied 1-1, and we get a push. At least it didn't make us lose, but just brutal. 1 out away with nobody on base. It is what it is. So, anyways, Tyler Glasnow. These are the 2 1-unit plays we had, and they were absolutely clutch and pretty much sweat-free, to be honest with you. Tyler Glasnow at 7.5 Ks. If it moved to 6.5, it didn't matter. I think he ended with 4. I mean, it wasn't even close. Nathan Eovaldi over 18.5 outs was absolutely cruising. He gave up a Luis Robert home run and then just did not allow anything else after that. I think he needed like 78, 80 pitches, something like that, to get through 19 outs. So that was huge. And then an added play, a half unit, Altuve and Guerrero Jr., 1+ hit each. How about both getting it done on their very first at-bat? Those are my favorite, that's for sure. And then the 5th bet, the only loss of the day. The Orioles team total over 2.5 in the first 5 innings. They made Cabrera look like a Cy Young Award winner when he's been terrible. But here's the kicker. The Orioles get 3 runs in the 6th. Of course they do. But you know what? It is what it is. They stunk, and they just always stink when I bet on them. Let's face it. That was a half-unit loss. It was a nice day overall, winning over 2 units. And as you can see by the overall record, at one point we were almost under minus 20 units, and now we are minus 2.33. I think I need to throw a party if I ever finally put a plus in front of that number, but game bets continue to kill us, just absolutely kill us, and player props now are up 18 units on the year. So anyways, that's the breakdown. That is the bets recap, and now let's talk some hitters. All right, we got 15 of these good hitter matchups for you today, and it starts with Freddie Freeman, 14 for 34 against Logan Webb with 1 home run, and then Jose Iglesias of the New York Mets, 11 for 33 with 1 home run, but that's Chris Sale. That is not an easy customer there. And Lindor, 13 for 31, has had success against Sale as well, and so on and so on. You see Machado, Naylor, and then you go over to the right side, obviously less at-bats and all that, but Benintendi, 4 for 9, Harold Ramirez of the Rays, 4 for 8, And then Vlad, who's been kind of on a roll I'd say last month and a half or so, 3 for 8 with a home run versus Taj Bradley, and Springer also having some success as well. But anyways, those are all the good hitter matchups. Take a screenshot. Hopefully this helps you go get some winners. And now let's check out the bad hitter matchups, and we only have 5 of them for you. That's right. Tommy, I almost called him Tyler. Tommy Pham, 3 for 23 with 10 Ks off Scherzer. That is no bueno. Obviously, most of that might be in Scherzer's prime, but still not good. Gavin Lux, 3 for 17 versus Logan Webb. Conforto, you see it versus Kershaw, which is crazy that he's finally back on the mound. And then Solano, and then we finish it with Casali for the Giants, 0 for 10 with 5 Ks versus Kershaw. So those are the good and bad hitter matchups of the day. And now let's talk some good pitcher strikeout matchups. All right, we got 2 of them for you, and the first one is Mr. Corbin Burnes of the Orioles facing the Miami Marlins. Marlins' second highest K percentage versus righties in the last 3 weeks at 27.4%, and Burnes 116 Ks and 124.2 innings this season. Now some quick notes. He does have a slightly lower K rate on the road, 22.1%, which is really about average, to be honest with you, compared to at home, 24.4%. But he has been so consistent, it's unreal. He has now had 5 to 7 Ks in 10 straight starts. I don't know if that helps you. I just wanted to tell you he is right in that number. Sometimes you see guys get 9 Ks and 3 Ks and all that. Corbin Burnes, this year, for whatever reason, is not a guy who just throws up a 9 or 10K game when he used to be able to do that. The second one, we continue to put him on, and he continues to get pushed back. It's the lefty, Chris Sale, baby. That's right. That always reminds me of that song, Sale. Dun, dun, dun. I don't know the other words. Anyways, good song. Someone tell me in the comments what that is. Going up against the New York Mets this time. We are changing opponents. Mets, 5th highest K percentage versus lefties the last 3 weeks, 27.5%. Sale has 140 Ks and 110 innings. You just saw all of this yesterday. I don't need to repeat it. But that's what we got. Sale, 34.4% K rate. Now he's on the road, so that actually means he has a higher K rate. Before he was going to pitch at home against the Reds. So those are the 2 pitcher strikeout matchups that we have for you. And now let's check out the pitcher report. All right, these are the 8 matchups for you today, and it starts with a big pitching advantage for the Padres with Dylan Cease versus Patrick Corbin. Cease has been on fire. Corbin sometimes surprises us. I don't know what else to say. He's been okay. Under a 5 expected ERA is actually really good for him. If you don't know him, doesn't miss many bats, obviously, gives up a lot of hits. And then Corbin Burnes, who we know has been solid, 2.38 ERA. Going up against Roddery, I give up a ton of home runs. Munoz with that 6.77 expected ERA. Another big pitching advantage there for Baltimore. And then Gavin Williams, who has not looked very good, to be honest with you. Almost a 60 expected ERA. Saw his last start. It just wasn't pretty. Going up against TBD. He's a heck of a pitcher, really. Lefty. No, just no pitcher listed, guys. Jonathan Cannon against Max Scherzer in Texas as well. As the White Sox continue to struggle, but Scherzer's not looked that great. I think he is kind of just a 4 ERA kind of guy because he does have an average K rate now as opposed to when he was in his prime. But Taj Bradley, Chris Bassett, we're going to talk about that game later. And then Logan Spiderweb versus the lefty. The future Hall of Famer is back. Mr. Clayton Kershaw, no stats again right now. He's obviously going to be on a pitch count. They want him for the playoffs, so be careful of any bets, but his career has been unbelievable, but he's just been battling a lot of injuries. So that will be an interesting and exciting game to watch there between the ace of the Giants and Mr. Kershaw. And then Chris Sale going up against Luis Severino. Severino's looked a little sketchy, a little off and on lately, but Chris Sale has just been absolutely dominant. A Cy Young favorite, all that kind of stuff. We know all about him. And then a pitching matchup to forget. Let's face it, Stripling versus Rosenberg. 6.77 expected ERA. It's 10 innings. He's not going to throw a ton of innings, more than likely, for the Angels. So it is what it is. But the Oakland A's offense has been absolutely scorching hot lately. So that is the pitcher report. If you're new, all the averages are on the bottom, so you have something to compare to. Hopefully you can get winners, whether it's walk props, K props, hits allowed, whatever it is, or at least it just starts your day as you dive in. So that's what we got for the pitcher report. And now it is time for the big game breakdown. All right, this one takes us to our neighbors of the north, where the Blue Jays host the Tampa Bay Rays. Rays on the money line -110, Jays on the money line -110. We got a coin flip. Total of 8 runs in this one. I know, big game breakdown. You think you should be doing the biggest game every day, but if I do that, it'll be the same teams and all that. I didn't want to do the Kershaw one because he hasn't pitched. There's not much to talk about. So I'm going to break down some other teams that we haven't done in a while. So let's talk the spot real quick. The Rays, this will be the 7th and final game of their road trip. and they are 3-3 on their road trip so far. Jays, this will be the 6th game of a long 9-game homestand. They are 2-3 so far on this one. Let's talk starting pitcher matchup because that's what it's all about in baseball. We got Taj Mahal Bradley versus Chris Bassett Hound. Now, Taj Mahal has been sneaky good. If you're not following him, he has been really good. 2.63 ERA, 3.36 expected ERA, like you guys just saw. 30% K rate and only giving up 6.3 hits per 9 innings. You guys know all those numbers. But here's what's crazy. He has allowed 2 or less earned runs in 8 straight starts. He has allowed 1 or less earned runs in 7 of the last 8. Guys, that's incredible. To allow 1 or less in 7 of the last 8, he's just been absolutely unbelievable. Now, home away splits. This may be one of the biggest home road splits you've seen in a long time. At home, a 1.50 ERA. Unbelievable. 160 average against, 254 slugging. On the road, 4.61 ERA, 255 average, 471 slugging. I'm also not done. This is what's blowing my mind right now. At home, his K rate, 36.4%, as elite as it gets. On the road, 19.1. I don't even know how that's possible. I really don't, but it is. So we've talked about earlier this year when we've cashed his K props when he is at home. But he does have similar walk rates for home and away, just so you guys know. But I will say this. He has pitched better on the road lately, that's for sure. He has just looked good absolutely everywhere. I mean, as you can tell, if you're giving up 2 or less earned runs in 8 straight, obviously there's quite a bit of road games in there. He is starting to pitch really well. Righty-lefty splits. Lefties, 224 average against, 375 slugging. And righties, he's absolutely dominating. 160 average and 286 slugging. Now, he has a higher 31.9% K rate versus lefties, but still has a nice 27.2% K rate versus righties. So even though he dominates righties, he does strike out lefties at a pretty high rate. Higher walk rate versus righties, 9.6% compared to lefties, 7.8%. And he has given up 5 home runs to righties and 5 home runs to lefties, so it's very even there. And Taj Mahal has not faced Toronto yet this season. Now, let's talk about Mr. Bassett. This guy hates me. This guy's like the Orioles. Every time I bet on him, he does the opposite. So just want to warn you, he has really struggled in July. How about a 6.48 ERA with a 290 average against and a 406 slugging? It's not been pretty for him. Now, if you want to compare that to how he's done before that, in May, he had a 2.4 ERA. In June, a 1.95. He's not a 1.95 guy, trust me. But he's not a 6.5 ERA guy. He's somewhere in the middle. But he has faced the Rays twice already this season. You probably want to know how it went. Let's just say it wasn't pretty. March 29th in Tampa, 5 innings, 6 hits, and 5 earned runs with 6 Ks in that one. May 17th at home, 5.2 innings, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, and 5 Ks. In the two starts combined versus the Rays this year, a 7.94 ERA. Not pretty at all. Home away splits. He's usually known for being much better at home, but it's not really the case this year. At home, 4.14 ERA, 276 average, and 386 slugging, with a 3.96 xFIP with the expected numbers. So you compare that to ERA, he's doing about what he probably should be doing with his ERA. On the road, 3.18 ERA has been better, 247 average, 330 slugging, with a 4.47 xFIP. So he's actually due for some negative regression on the road. Does that matter here? Absolutely not. He's at home, so it really doesn't. Very similar home road K splits and walk splits. Now let's talk righty-lefty for Mr. Bassett. Versus lefties, 276 average, 421 slugging, and 345 WOBA weighted on base average. Versus righties, 251 average, 301 slugging, and 283 WOBA. So he has obviously been better to righties. He has a higher K rate versus righties as well, 24.3% compared to only 18.5% versus lefties. He also has a lower walk rate, so all the numbers look good towards righties. 7% lefties, he has walked 11.4% of the time. 8 of the 10 home runs that he has given up this year, that's pretty impressive, by the way, not many home runs. 8 of those 10 have been to lefties. Overall, better average against, better slugging, better WOBA numbers, K, walk, everything to righties. So if there's a chance to get to him, it's usually with some lefties. Not saying righties can't get to him at all, though. Offenses now. Let's talk about that. Versus righties in the last 30 days, the Rays, 18th best WRC+, 23rd slugging, 16th on base percentage. Boring. Blue Jays, 15th best WRC+, 16th best slugging, 15th best on base percentage. Boring again. 2 similar average offenses versus righties lately. And that's what they are. Now let's talk bullpens. Last 30 days, Rays, 23rd best ERA, the 4.56. Jays, 29th best ERA at 5.3 R, 3.4 ERA. That's not boring. That's just bad. That is not good. The Rays yesterday used Jason Adam, 29 pitches, So probably not available today. I mean, a guy with two first names can't go 2 days in a row. Jays used Garcia 22 pitches, Cabrera 17, Green 15, and Little 11 pitches. Overall, overall in this game, it's going to be It's going to be an even matchup. There's a reason you see minus 110. The money line on this one is a coin flip to me. It really is. Now, I do have a best bet though. Before I get to this, I just want to mention one lean that the odds got away from me a little bit, so I didn't want to bet it. Chris Bassett over 1.5 walks as a two-leg piece. He's gone over this in 15 to 20 games this year, and the Rays have a top 10 walk rate. I think he hits two again. I think the odds are already getting to minus 150, 160. So if you want kind of just one piece to go with something else, or as you guys like to do, one leg of a 28-leg parlay, then that is an option. Just want to let you know. So it's time for the best bet now, and I kind of cheated because this is a two-leg parlay. The second one is not included in this game, but I'm doing it because I just can. So here we go. Taj Bradley under 2.5 earned runs, and Roddery Munoz of that Marlins game, nothing to do with this game, no to record a win at minus 109 on DraftKings. I'm going a half unit on this one. So now the first one, which is actually a part of this big game breakdown, Taj Bradley under 2.5 earned runs. This is the main part of the bet right here. I already mentioned it before. 8 straight starts of going under this number. 7 of 8 have got 1 or less runs, which is just unreal. He has been absolutely dominant, and like I said, he's been dominant on the road lately, even though the overall numbers don't say it. He's been one of the best young starting pitchers in the league lately. That's just what it is, and no one's really talking about him. And he's facing a Jays lineup that's not really scary. I mean, it's not. He dominates righties. Vladdy's scary a little bit, obviously. He is a righty. I think he can handle him a little bit. But the Blue Jays, below average offense versus righties, I'm not worried about it. It's very simple for me. This guy has been dominating. I'm surprised 2.5 is decently playable. I actually thought it would be 1.5, and maybe just juice to the over at 1.5. But either way, give me Taj Bradley under 2.5 earned runs for all the reasons we already talked about. And then the second leg, Roddery Munoz of the Marlins. Yes, it's confusing. It's not a part of this game. It's just a juice reducer, but I have a stat that will absolutely blow your mind. Are you sitting down? Here we go. The Marlins. The Miami Marlins have now gone 36 straight games without a starting pitcher recording a win. I just wanted to let that sink in. 36 straight games without any starting pitcher of theirs recording a win. Do we think that streak breaks here versus Corbin Burns and the Baltimore Orioles when Munoz is absolutely terrible? Absolutely not. If it does, I don't know what else to say. But Munoz himself has 1 win in 10 starts. Not a very good hit rate. And like I said, this is just a juice reducer. It's all about Taj Bradley, but I didn't want to just give him out for minus 150. I got to get the odds down closer to even money. So that's what I got. Give me Taj Bradley under 2.5 earned runs, and then throw on a little juice reducer. Roddery Munoz, no to record a win, and we get that at minus 109 on DraftKings for a half unit. And that is my first best bet. And now let's talk some more. All right, before we get into this second best bet, we got to talk about our partner, KALSHI. That's right. You guys have heard us talk about it before, but it is a regulated exchange and prediction market, the only one and biggest one in the U.S. where you can trade on real-world events. It's been a ton of fun. You guys have seen our trade of the days. Federally regulated in all 50 states. You can buy and sell event contracts. It's just a blast, and it is huge. It is blowing up right now. You got to be a part of it. Click the link below to sign up, and you can get a $20 bonus credit if you're one of the first 500 people to sign up. So be sure to join KALSHI and have some fun with us. If you guys already are, leave us a comment below. Let me know what you guys are trading on and some good ones out there. But anyways, that is KALSHI. And now for bet number 2, it takes us out to Texas where the Rangers host the Chicago White Sox. Rangers on the money line minus 258. White Sox money line plus 210 with a total of 8 runs. My best bet in this game is probably on a guy that not many people are thinking about betting on. Give me Jonathan Cannon over 15.5 outs recorded at minus 120 on DraftKings. This is a half unit. This slate is small. This slate is not that great. I'm not going to just force a ton of 1 unit plays. Obviously, that's just me. If you guys listen to what I have to say and love it and you want to put a unit, you do what you got to do. But we're going to start out by looking at Outlier because you know Outlier is awesome. So let's go check out some numbers for Mr. Cannon. All right, here we go. You guys know how much Outlier has helped us in all these winning days we've had. It's a one-stop shop for betting research, so gotta go check it out. Go try that free trial. Click that link below and sign up and join us. But here we go, guys. As we talked about, we're talking about Mr. Cannon. By the way, I proposed to my wife at Cannon Beach. I think about it every time I see his name. Just a little fun fact about me. But the last 5 games, here we are. As you can see right there, over this in 4 of the last 5, he's been an innings monster. And he's actually gone 6 or more innings in 3 of the last 5 We only need 1 out in the 6th to cash this. Yes, hash brown math. He almost threw a complete game against Houston. Look at that. That was unbelievable. Now some notes in these games that you're not seeing right here, but he gave up 3 or 4 earned runs in 3 of those games and still went over. He even had 4 walks in one of the games and also went over. So he can struggle a little bit and still has been a pretty efficient pitcher lately. And he's only made 9 starts overall, by the way. That's why we're looking at last 5. These are the last 5 starts. Now let's scroll down a little bit and let's look at the Rangers hitters like we like to do. Above that pie chart, you will see the Rangers hitter numbers. Last 30 days versus righties has not been pretty. 23rd batting average, 17th OBP, 21st OPS, 23rd WRC plus. No matter how you slice it, it has not been pretty for the defending World Series champions. Now let's go over there and look at the right. And that's the list of the Rangers hitters. And we clicked on Rangers. We already got versus right-handed pitching. And, you know, they got some guys. We all know Seager's a stud. Okay. But, I mean, Marcus Semien hitting 220. Adolis Garcia, 201. Wyatt Langford, the rookie, who I like, hitting 237. Jonah Heim, 240. They don't have a bunch of guys that are just absolutely obliterating righties. So anyways, those are all the numbers and everything. Now, the name of the game here is to keep the pitch count low, right? That's what we want to do. And so for the Rangers this season, let's just look at them. Well, they've seen the 8th fewest pitches in the major league. So that's a good sign, number one. This is what I absolutely love. They have the 4th highest first pitch swing percentage. That means exactly what it says. They have swung the 4th most at the first pitch. And there's nothing I like more than a 1-pitch ground out, a 1-pitch fly out, whatever it is, to keep that pitch count low. They have the 5th highest zone swing percentage. As long as Cannon can keep those pitches in the zone, you are going to see a lot of swings from the Texas Rangers, and that leads to some quick outs. Now, right-handed pitchers versus the Rangers lately. How about 7 of the last 8 righties going over this line versus the Rangers, including Dean Kramer, Eric Fetty, Spaghetti, that rhyme, didn't even plan it. Corbin Burns, Grayson Rodriguez, and so on and so on. So the White Sox used a lot of their bullpen. Flexen did not do very well yesterday like he has been. So they need Cannon to eat some innings. I expect him to be on a long leash here. And you're wondering, why are you only doing a half unit if you love it so much? Well, first of all, it's a day game. And second of all, it's still Jonathan freaking Cannon. He has the ability to get blown up. Now, if he gives up 3 earned runs, walks 1 guy, something like that, I feel really good about him getting just 1 out in the 6th because that's all we need. So give me Mr. Cannon over 15.5 outs as my second best bet. And now it is time for my son's birthday parlay. All right, let's have some fun. We have not done this much at all during baseball season. As you guys know, it's my son's birthday, so why not put a parlay out there? He asked me. I don't know. That's crazy. 3-year-olds can ask that now. But again, this is not official. I'm probably going to throw a half unit on it myself. You guys do what you want or don't even tail it. But let's have some fun and see if we can get a winner. Padres, -1.5. Orioles, money line, and the Nerfy and the Rays and Blue Jays game. You throw all 3 of those together, you get plus 350 on DraftKings. I'm going to be very brief on each one. We don't need another 10 minutes on this. Padres -1.5 first leg. Dylan Cease has been absolutely electric. We already talked about it. Huge starting pitcher advantage versus the lefty Patrick Corbin. And by the way, Corbin does have over a 6 ERA in day games this season as well. I think the Pods win absolutely easy here. So Orioles money line. What could go wrong? Me betting the freaking Orioles. Goodness gracious. It's Corbin Burns versus Roderick Munoz, which we've talked about. Do we honestly think the O's are going to get swept in Miami? Now, I will say someone sent me some info that they have been horrendous in Miami in their franchise or last 5 years or something. But my goodness, just go get a win and pull your head out of your you-know-what. They got to win this one. So I think they win easy, but I just need a money line win. The third one, we're heading down to Nerfy Town, baby. That's right, Taj Bradley. We already talked all about this game in the big game breakdown. But Nerfy-wise, he has held his opponent scoreless in 8 straight games. He has 11-2 Nerfy record this season. I've just talked about how dominant he's been just overall in general. And then Chris Bassett, how about a 16-4 Nerfy record this season? 9-2 Nerfy record at home this year. Both lineups are boring, as I put it earlier. They're average at best. Just got to avoid the one big swing for a home run. So I like those 3 legs. Let's put it together and have some fun. Nerfy, Jays, Rays, Orioles money line, and the Padres -1.5 as my son's birthday parlay. And now let's talk those hitter parlay ideas. All right, I got 4 of these for you today. And it starts with Mr. Freddie Freeman. We know him. We already saw the numbers earlier. 14 for 34 off Logan Webb. Hitting 314 off righties. 305 at home. He's the man. Second one, Lawrence freaking Butler has been unreal. He really has. It's crazy. Hitting 591 the last 7 days. He plays for the Oakland A's, by the way. He has 2+ hits in 6 of his last 7. Maybe you just take him to get 2+ hits again. He is facing Rosenberg. Easy matchup. He does nothing. I'm just riding the hot bat there. And then let's go with his teammate in another easy matchup. The Oakland A's, Miguel Andujar, hitting 444 the last 7 days. If you don't know, the A's lineup has been unbelievable lately. And if you don't know, now you know. Hitting 300 on the year, 1+ hit in 14 of his last 17 games. Now, the fourth one, we're not going to have another Oakland A. We are going to go to the Padres. Jurickson Profar, we know we've cashed some crazy bets with him this year, but he is hitting 299 on the season. He's facing the lefty, Patrick Corbin. I don't know who that is. That's interesting. Patrick Corbin. Profar is absolutely crushed lefties, hitting 340 this season. He has really even home away splits, so it doesn't matter where he plays, and he has 5 for his last 14. So those are my 4 best hitter parlay ideas. My son's birthday parlay, my 2 best bets, and all the research help you need today. Again, any added plays, and I might have one soon, will be in the pinned comments on X and on Discord. Just a reminder, some of these games start very, very early, especially on the West Coast. But let's finish it up by taking a look at the recap. All right, there it is. Our 2 best bets, Taj Bradley under 2.5 earned runs and Roddery Munoz no to record a win at -109, half unit play. And then Jonathan Cannon Beach over 15.5 outs recorded at -120. That is a half unit play as well. And then let's have some fun and let's cash a parlay. My son's B-Day parlay +350, Padres -1.5, Orioles on the money line, and the Nerfy in the Rays and Jays game. Again, as you can see down there at the bottom, added plays will be in the pinned comments, X, and Discord. I'm not going heavy on this 8-game slate. There's not a ton to love here. So I'm just going to play it safe because it's been working for us as we keep grinding away. And let's see if we can get another winning day. But thank you guys for listening as always. If you haven't hit that like button, let's hit that like button. Let's see if we can get to 500 likes on this video. But anyways, hope you guys all have a great Thursday and we'll talk to you soon.